Hello, everybody, and welcome to Music Industry Insights Worldwide. Today we've got Nick here with us. Hi, Nick, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Do you want to tell listeners a little bit more about yourself, where you're from, and what you do?
Yes, absolutely. So my name is Nika. I'm originally from Slovenia,
Yeah,
very small country in Europe.
beautiful country.
Uh, yeah, beautiful but small.
Yeah,
I mean, I was born in Yugoslavia, so I'm actually that old.
okay.
And yeah, I'm a social worker by profession. Spent 12 years now in events industry. Before I was in IT project management, so very much corporate environment. And now, for the past year, I'm a founder of a company called Calm Nest Collective, which is a UK-based company, all about inclusivity, accessibility, neuro inclusion, and so on. So yeah.
How do you think that we're doing at the moment? Because obviously the UK says we do a lot of inclusion in the music industry, but we see a lot of performative action. How do you think that impacts those communities that are actually trying to make groundswell and build something from the foundations up, actually, Nika?
Well, to be honest, if I'm comparing UK and Europe, I think
Yeah.
UK it's still a little bit more
Behind.
walking the talk, let's say like this.
Yeah.
Um, but I see a lot of, these checklists being filled, but not very much done in practice. So there is a lot of documentation being filled, membership approved things, but not so much real action when it comes to real action. So I think that, it's on us who we are. I mean, on us that are trying to do something to just walk the talk, as I said, and try to make this change.
Be real, but also you've come from the European Union. The European Union has done massive, great work. I was looking at some global reports for 2025 on the European Union. They've done really, really well. What do you think is the driving factor for the European Union to do so well at the moment in music?
I think it's very much different from country to country.
Yeah.
So this is why I also think that when you look at the statistics for the whole European Union, it can be really good.
20,
But I think that there are lots of, I mean, let's put it like this. There are countries who are doing really well
okay.
and are really supportive and are making the change. And then you have quite a lot of it who are doing absolutely nothing. And this makes it, I think, even more challenging
Yeah.
overall.
I was looking at the IFP report actually on the European Union, and it was the 27 member states. But again, I was looking at it from your point of view. When we're looking at it, actually, there's some countries that have always been doing great, like France and Germany. You know, Holland have been doing really well as well lately. But there's a lot of other countries in the European Union that are not doing so great. So how can we balance that out and make it equal for, people like Poland, up and coming at the moment, people like Finland, people like, Czechoslovakia, people that are in those member states, how can we make sure they're represented as well?
Um, I think that I think financial situation and politics are the two things that are, I think, the biggest barrier, I would say. Because in every country, if you dig a little bit deeper, you will see some little signals of hope. So there are associations, there are companies, there are, I don't know, organizations who are really trying to make this change. But as you know yourself, it's always challenging. If you don't have funding, that's a biggest thing. And if the funding is not accessible, for example, for small and upcoming organizations or the ones that are not, I don't know, usually it's, if you're a little bit different,
Yeah,
then
people
it's
get that,
always gets challenging. Yeah.
which you understand.
So yeah, so I think this is one of the things that's the most thing. And then political situation, I think that I actually posted about this a few days ago on LinkedIn. There is always something, either it is, I don't know, either it is elections or it is, I don't know, some change in the politics, some
Yeah.
change in mayors in bigger cities.
Mhm.
Either now we have war again. So it's always something that's standing on our ways. And when it comes to financing, I think everybody is now again, even more, just looking for ways to survive and not spend on things that should otherwise get support, I would say.
So working on things that we love, we're passionate about, we're trying to drive change, we're trying to represent, we're doing lots of different things all at once. And I think the problem is there's certain people in places. I was in Canada a few weeks ago on a Women in Music talk, and one of the people that I've obviously fell out with, we used to get on. We fell out. We fell out for some personal and business reasons, actually. It was combined. No one's actually asked me what happened. I've spoken up on several occasions, but then I've been shut down. And this is the problem we have is people want authenticity. They want real stories. But once you stop being authentic and real, some people are going to shut you down for that, right?
Mm.
How do you deal with
I
that?
think, I think this is one of the biggest challenges. Everybody wants you to be super authentic, right? But when you start to perform this authenticity of yours,
Right.
people start to get reserved, and they're like, "Wow, I didn't expect this from you," or things like this. So I think people should just decide what do they want, because I mean, I'm all for authenticity. I think that I don't see any particular reason why somebody should be masking or hiding or whatever. I think we are in 21st century, so we should have an open floor for conversation,
Yeah.
for different opinions even. I mean, I don't expect I don't expect we will all agree, but still we
Yeah.
are decent human
Yeah.
beings, so we should open space for conversation.
Absolutely. But we also come to that middle point where we can agree on certain things. And it's about compromise. Everything should be about the compromise. I think music is lacking compromise. What do you think on that one?
Yeah, I think this is definitely a big thing. People, I think that people are not susceptible to change in general. And one of the things that I think or I see in events industry, particularly in music industry, is this sentence that I absolutely always makes my hair stand up. And this is, we've always done it this way. I mean, yeah, we did, maybe, but it's time to change. I mean, you can't do things the same all the time and then just expect better results or different results or be inclusive. It just doesn't work like this. You need to make certain changes and you need to be susceptible to change. Otherwise, nothing is going to change ever.
Yeah.
And I think music industry is really, really famous for this.
And talking about change, you've come from the European Union to Africa. How much of a change was that? And I'm sure that's more aligned with your musical and events goals as well, actually. So tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, Africa is another is another planet. I mean, it's Africa is so much different from what we are used to. That I always say it's either you like it or you don't, or either you find your ways here or you don't, and if you don't, you probably never will. So it doesn't make any sense to stay here or to do something here. But it's also at the same time, I think Africa is very. I mean, this saying "Mama Africa," it's not for nothing because you are actually coming back to yourself in a way. We in modern world have so much lost contact with ourselves, with nature, with everything that you can't even imagine how much. And you figure this out once you're like, in some different place, which is close to Africa or similar to Africa in a way.
And how did you feel like going from one country to a different country and feeling like you're on your own? It's different. You're trying to navigate, but you see difference, but you support those differences. How much has that taught you along the way as well? Because I know you focus a lot on mental health and support and well-being. So how has that improved your insights in that?
You know what? I mean, for me and for us that grew up in Yugoslavia, I think my husband used to jokes that there is always something happening. So we were born in Yugoslavia. Then we had a war and the country fell apart, and we found ourselves in a new country, each of us on our own country. I grew up then in Slovenia, and then I moved to Austria, and I moved back to Slovenia, and moved back to Austria. So for me, it's very much. I don't have this maybe this will sound weird, but I don't have this nationalism pride, or I don't know. I guess I'm just not born with this in it. I'm very much borders are just for me just I need to show the passport, but to me it doesn't really matter. For
Right.
me, I need to feel good where I am, and it doesn't matter. It can be, wherever. So this is not so much about the country itself. It's more about this inner feeling that I have when I'm here. And usually people make this decent portion of this.
And I'm sure
So yeah.
was Yugoslavia not Serbia, Croatia, Bosnia, and a few other countries like Macedonia as well, like combined. It was more than just one country. It's all been split up. Is that correct?
Yes, of course. Yes, it was more countries,
Yeah.
and it was kind of a magical country because in a way we are very different, but in a way we are very much all the same. So
Big block,
um,
of course.
yeah, so it was quite a. I mean, it was. I think it's still quite a masterpiece that we were able to somehow have like a joint country. And looking at the politics now and imagining that there was one voice coming from all these nations
Uh,
being able to handle all the, I can't imagine how this looked like, but
it's
it worked, and it worked for several amount of years.
it's a bit like the UK because you got cultural differences, but you also got religious differences. Now, how have you found that going from, the European Union to Africa? How has that been? Have you found yourself more free, more in connect with nature, with life? How's that? How has
Oh,
that gone?
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. With life, definitely. In terms of religion, even here in Africa, it's very much more primitive. I mean, you do have obviously religions like we know in Europe.
Yeah,
So we have Muslims, we have Christians, and so on. But still, there is also many, it's more tribal in a way as well.
yeah,
So you have still these old folklore things, which most of the people are very much still in fond of and even practice these things. It's in a way similar, for example, to Cuba. If you were ever in Cuba or Latin America in general, you have this Santeria, for example, which is similar to this tribal, yeah,
make,
I'm not going to say witchcraft, but still, it's a very much primitive way of, it's
yeah.
a religion in a way.
Mhm.
So for me, I mean, I don't know. I'm really much, I'm a very open-minded person in a way that I don't necessarily follow any of those religions. But if people feel they need to practice this or believe in something, I mean, I'm supportive of that. I don't like being forced into anything, obviously, but still, if this makes you happy, and I mean, I'm really all for it.
Yeah,
I
brilliant.
don't find it disturbing or anything. I'm welcoming it.
Yeah, so do you believe in anything at all? And has faith got you through any of this trials and tribulations that you face in events and music?
Um, I'm not religious in a sense, but I do have a little bit maybe different view of the world in terms of afterlife and things. So I've read a few books recently whom I'm very much identified with.
Mhm.
So this has been an interesting revelation. And it's actually coming. I actually lost my sister, my younger sister, a few years ago, quite unexpectedly.
Yeah.
And it was a complete shock to everybody, obviously. And these books somehow gave me, yeah, let's say a bigger meaning or explanation to the whole story.
And that's so beautiful. It's about storytelling, but being authentic and original. How important has networking been for you? And also your originality and your story, because they are really important things that bind you together, right?
I think it's super important. I'm really a fan of networking. I'm a fan of meeting new people. I love meeting new people. I love having conversations with people I don't know. After all, that's how we met as well, through a mutual person, Jeff. But yeah, I mean, I'm really, really a fan of networking, and it's been really amazing. Because I am a little bit, even though I don't look like, I am a little bit of an introvert, but I actually found myself really reaching out to people, doing conversations. And I think I've met really a lot of amazing people in the last year or two, really a lot.
And you've got a podcast as well. Let's talk about your podcast because I've watched it. I've seen some amazing guests on the show, some of them which I know. So tell us a little bit more. What inspired you to start that? Tell us a little bit more.
Well, podcast is actually a little baby brother from a Calmness Collective. It was actually started, people started to talk to me about that I should do a podcast. And I'm going to be really embarrassed now, but I'm not really a podcast follower. I don't listen to podcasts at all. So I was like, oh, yeah, really? You think so? I should do it? And they were like, yeah, you should take a look. It's amazing. And I figured throughout this conversation with people that I've spoken before, so all these connections that I've made, people have so many amazing stories. They just have nowhere to share them. And I'm really a passionate believer that everybody has a story to share. And no matter how much you think it is boring or not interesting, I can guarantee you people will identify with it.
Yeah.
So this is actually the reason why I started the podcast. And we talk about everything and anything. I have various guests. Most of them I don't even know, or we know each other just like by name online, so we've never met. And the feedback has been amazing. Everybody loves it, and yeah, it was really a spontaneous decision, but it really took off, and I'm really glad it did. It's really making me really happy.
I'm so glad that there's someone else out there that's doing the same thing as we, with the same values and the same goals, but from completely different continent, which is fantastic. And this is what we need to do, is build bridges and also educate, inspire, empower the next generation. So what do you think the talent pipeline's like right now for music and entertainment?
Sorry, can you repeat? What?
Pipeline. How do you think that's going right now for music and entertainment?
Um, well, I myself am, for example, a mentor in various organizations, and I think that getting young people on board, it's super important, but I don't see it enough in the industry. I think that there's been a lot of gatekeeping. That's just my personal observation. Maybe this is not the case, but this is my observation. I think we should support the younger generation more, giving them space to. I mean, if you look at the music industry, let's look at music. How many bands do you have out there that are over 70 years old?
The problem is we keep focusing on the younger ones. They've got no life experience. They don't know what the real world's like. They haven't lived a real life, and they can't pay the bills. So they're living at home.
Yeah.
Daddy, what about the other musicians that are independent musicians that are over 25, that are actually living on their own, that are trying to make a way? What about those kind of musicians there? Because we focus on like 16 to 24 or 16 to 30s. Most of them are living at home with mummy and daddy. This is why we're getting this middle class, upper class kind of music system that doesn't appeal to anyone, quite frankly.
Yeah, I think it's the same. What I wanted to say, I think that there is not enough support for this kind of because everybody is sticking to what they were doing for the past 50 years, and nobody wants to move away from anything. That's why you have tours with musicians that are 80 plus.
Of course, keeps them safe and it's paying the bills, and it's also paying ticket sales. But what they're not doing is investing in the future. So what about the
Absolutely not. Yeah, absolutely not. I don't know. I mean, I'm missing some kind of programs, to be honest. More support from, particularly, I'm looking at most established bands and musicians out there. There is not nearly enough being done in any spectrum. At least this is my opinion. And also, we can speak about grassroots, for example. How many venues have closed just in the UK itself since COVID?
of the LGBT,
Thousands.
50% of the LGBT events have closed since 20. So if you look at it, most of those events were trans-run events by trans people. Now it's been taken over by an elite group with the cash. They're all connected. All of them are connected. And they've already proved that several times over. They're all interconnected. And what they're trying to do is silence the real truth. How do you think that is for the communities that have actually been through that trauma? Like yourself in Yugoslavia, you've had to move. You've had to integrate again and have to go through trauma. That's a lot, isn't it?
Well, to be honest, the biggest players in the music and events industry I think, are not going to say one of the biggest problem, but it's definitely a big problem. I'm not going to say any names, but I think you and me.
Yeah, we know. We know.
I'm thinking about, huh?
We don't need to say names.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say any names, but if you just look at these organizations, I mean, or companies, who did you see any initiative at all? Can you think of one? I can't.
Only the
And
ones
I
that
am
are
in
informative.
the sorry?
There are certain events and organizations that will do it to get cash and to also think that it's going to further the career. But what they don't realize is Gen Zs are very open, they're very observant, they understand social media more than we do, and they can see the truth. And what they don't really like is people telling lies and being inauthentic,
Mm,
trying to
mm.
things into the box to make it feel like it's part of the box when it's nothing to do with the box because we're a separate box. We're a completely different box,
Yeah.
which I know you know.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, for sure. That's what I'm saying. I'm missing a big piece here of everything. But I don't know. I think that there will have to be some major change. I don't think that small steps are going to be enough. Because it's been going on for too long, and I think some things are even too embedded in the system that, and people will not give up their money. That's for sure. You know how people are. So
Yeah,
it's going to be a very challenging transition for sure. But it's needed. It's definitely needed. As I said, we've always done it this way. It's not working anymore. Not with the new generation comings. No,
right.
absolutely not.
It's been commercialized, absolutely, but it didn't really work on an authentic level. What people are now shifting to is a cultural, identity led, authentic piece of work. Now, the music industry hasn't really had that. It's been manufactured, it's been created, it's been designed. And this is where I think they struggle a lot now because you can't do that anymore, not with social media. And when you've got authentic voices like ourselves speaking about things, we connect. We don't always connect on the same things, but we connect on the certain values, goals, the mission, and the authenticity, right?
Hmm.
And I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, this is one of the good things about internet and social media. There are many bad ones, but this one is definitely good.
Thank you. I always look on the good side, never the dark side. I don't play Ouija board. Don't believe in it. Mm-mm. Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about how did you get into music and events?
Oh, very spontaneously. I actually met my current husband. So he was already in events industry, and I basically just jumped straight in from very corporate environment, and had a bit of a hard landing with my corporate mentality.
Oh, thank
But I think
you.
yeah.
I've had two of
Yeah,
them.
it was not easy. I mean, and I'm a Virgo by horoscope, so for me everything is about planning and everything has to be predicted and blah blah blah, which we know it's not very happening in events when there is a lot of improvisation. But no, I mean we did have 5 music festivals for a decent amount of years. It was an amazing journey. Obviously, then COVID hit, but still, up until then, it was really an amazing journey. And I mean, I do definitely belong into the event industry. That's definitely my home.
That's amazing. And thank you so much for sharing that with us and the listeners. We have so many listeners tuning in. And I just want to say thank you to all the listeners. I'm far from perfect, I'm imperfect. Trying to fit into an industry that's far from real, it's very unauthentic. But we're trying to bring the realness into that, fakeness that they try and bring. And I've been looking a lot about, how people get respected and how people are treated. I was in Canada, had a great time. How do you find it when you go into different countries and you actually see the culture on the ground and you're building it from the grassroots up? How do you feel about that?
I think it would be, for me, it's all about this inner feeling. For me, it would be impossible to build something or to start something or to connect if I don't have this inner feeling of being welcomed, of being understood, of feeling that I'm in the right place at the right time. Let's put it like this. I'm very much intuitive when it comes to this. So, and I love, love, love spending time in different countries. This is for me, it's really, and finding, I mean, just exploring not just nature, obviously, but also just new, new communities, learning about new communities, meeting new people. I think this is really, really like that.
You're stunning. That's absolutely beautiful for you to say that as well. And tell us a bit more. Did you have an education? How did you get into all this? What made you come to all this stuff?
Well, as I said, I'm actually a social worker by profession, but I just briefly worked as a social worker. I did my master's in completely different in economy, so it has got nothing to do. But I did my PhD then in psychology, and I actually joke that I actually ran the full circle because I always somehow knew I'm a very people's person. And the older I am, the more I'm in tune, obviously, with myself. And yeah,
Person, you're a helping person. Sorry to interrupt you. I've been through
yeah.
it was a foster care. Now I had a great social worker called Anna Ratcliffe. And my brother used to go to the Ratcliffe Hospital up in Oxford because I'm from Oxford. And my social worker, she was great. She was absolutely fantastic. But the children's home and the foster care, there wasn't, so much great safeguarding around that stuff. And I've supported people that were also through grooming gangs and rape gangs in Oxfordshire at the time. And I don't think social services did a great job, to be fair.
Yeah, social services are a challenging profession, I can tell you that. Personally,
I would just be one.
Personally, I think that this is same as it with education. This is actually a calling, and you need to be a person for that. If you are not a 100% person for that, you're not going to do a great job. Simply because there is too much balancing between the law and legislation and your personal. It's
No,
very challenging. It's very demanding.
it shouldn't be about the law or policy. It should be about safeguarding and safeguarding innocent and vulnerable people. It shouldn't be
Yeah,
about
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That it's a calling. If you are not the right person for this job, you're not going to do a great job. If
right,
you don't have this within you, this instinct for safeguarding, if you are not a caring person, if you don't see inequality, because some people just don't see it. Some people don't have this. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Some people are born with this and are intuitive and are nurturing and are caring and are able to see things in advance, are just caring people, and some people are not. It's just, I see it as this, and it's same with education. How many good teachers do you remember? For example, if I roll my film back into my primary school and my high school, I mean, yeah, I've had a few great teachers, but I had only a few. However, there were lots of classes of not very good teachers. And this is, I think, for exactly the same reason. It's a calling. You need to be a person to be able to teach children. You need to be this kind of person.
I believe
It's very much different from, for example, if you are an economist, you don't need to have this touch. You know what I mean? It's very much a personality thing.
I've always put
So
I've never taught children. I don't have a certificate in teaching children, and I wouldn't aim at teaching children. I don't think children are old enough to understand me as a person or what I represent, and I've never done that anyway. But at the same time, I've gone around the world and I've taught loads of different people. I've also taught English as a foreign language. I've also taught music, and I've also learnt music from a very young age. And what I did was I was just trying to bridge gaps, bring people together. How do you think the UK is doing right now? Because I'm looking at Europe, you're doing great. You're absolutely smashing it. But the UK, we're different between the US and the EU. And I don't think you even know where we stand. And the problem is, it's ripping us apart because no one's got any morals or values or goals anymore unless they stay authentic. And it's really important that the UK holds itself and keeps innovating. When we talk about innovation, innovation is change. The UK hates change.
mm,
They always rebel against it. They don't agree with it. And the funding isn't going in the right places. They're funding
mm,
old streams. What they're doing is just funding the old system because it works and it's a set goals. Meghan Markle walked out saying they're racist. What she didn't mean was fund every single black person and forget about all the white people. She's a mixed race woman like myself. Do you understand? So then
Yeah, this is what I said. People hate change. This is one thing. And the same thing is people just feel comfortable in a world where nothing changes,
it's
which is not, it's not possible to live like this.
it's black or
It's,
white, girl. And this is the problem. We're not black or white. We're multi. We're multi. We're
mm,
multi that. You're in Africa. You're from the European Union. Doesn't mean you're one thing. You're multi different things. And you represent multi different things. And your skills do too.
yeah, this is a problem, feeding people in various, I don't, this is what I said. I mean, the old models just don't work anymore. It's just, as you've said, I think Britain is like very much traditional country in a way. So they're always sticking to these old systems, beliefs, whatever, where they feel comfortable in.
Ah,
So I think but it goes for, it's not just UK. I think it goes for every single country out there. Some are more changes are coming more fast, some a little bit more slow, but still I think this old model of operation, it's not working anymore. We are not, I mean, we're so different, and we are so many different things, like you've said. It's impossible to operate within the old models. It's not working.
wow. I don't think you think that some of these countries that are anti certain things are not supporting certain agendas deep down, but they're trying to figure out who's the real, who's the fake. Because I think some of these people want to act like they're real, act like they're fake. And they do a lot of this tick box exercise in performances. They're figuring it all out. There's a lot of people doing a lot of research in the backgrounds. What would you say to those people?
Just do what you want to do. Really, just stick to what you're passionate about, because eventually things do come out and things get the glory they deserve. Just stick to your plan. It's super important that we are not distracted by anything, because I think that people that are passionate about what they're doing should continue within their passions. And the change is definitely coming. For some, a little bit sooner, for some, a little bit later, but it's definitely coming. We should just be really focused on what we are doing and don't give up.
Nika, how could people connect with you, find out more, and connect with your podcast, you as a person, and your social media platforms?
Yeah, so the website, it's obviously nikabrunet.com. The company, it's called Calmness Collective. Also, same website, calmnesscollective.com. Pink Nest Podcast, same domain, pinknestpodcast.com. Just put my name in Google. I'm all over the place, but I'm most active on LinkedIn. So that's where I'm most active.
Such a beautiful heart, such a beautiful mind, but not just that, such a beautiful soul. And you've linked them all together. That makes that so powerful. Now, what is your major wins and successes? Where you want to go?
Well, I just want this world to be a better place for everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm working towards making a legacy into this one, whatever it will be. But that's my goal. I want to make it a better place, more inclusive,
You
more genuine, more, yeah.
basically. You're a beautiful person, beautiful soul, beautiful heart. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been a privilege. And I'm so super touched by your story. It moves me. And I've been moved many a times. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. You're so kind. And I think you're also a beautiful soul. And thank you so much for having me and for giving me the space to share my story.
If
Thank you.
I was over to Africa, that's beautiful. I'm just living in London and it's concrete jungle right now. But I'm
Thank you.
it's okay.